your old opinion, which is like a minute ago, and it dramatically different. By the way, there's one thing I disagree here. I think Kamala Harris will probably win in a cakewalk for governor.
No!
Okay.
No! What are you doing?
In this video, we join Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian on an episode of The Young Turks. Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian are discussing the establishment arm of the Democrat Party when, somehow, Cenk Uygur brings up the idea of Kamala Harris becoming the governor of California. Even the notion of that makes Anna Kasparian sick to her stomach, and she lets him know it. With that, let's watch Anna Kasparian torch her TYT co-host, Cenk Uygur, for his less than optimal idea.
Some senior party officials said to be open to Kamala Harris running again in 4 years. Politico asking the question, are Democrats coconut pilled? Where are you on this future?
Well, that was Fox News anchor Bill Hemmer throwing to Lindy Lee, who's the DNC Mid-Atlantic Regional Chair. Probably not for long, because she is about to devastate Kamala Harris.
This is not what America wants. November 5th was a decisive defeat for the Democratic Party. She lost every single swing state. It wasn't a squeaker like it was in 2016. This was a resounding defeat. And right now, Kamala Harris is indulging in delusions of running for governor of California, possibly in 2026, or even president again in 2028. America has said this is not what we don't want to be coconut pilled. We do not want Kamala Harris. We don't want failed border policies. And I feel like I'm liberated and I can finally tell the truth that the Democrats completely failed on the border. Title 42 was a tremendous mistake, and no one is willing to say that. And you shouldn't be called bigoted or racist because you want strong borders for the United States. And you should be able to say that the economy was ailing under the Biden-Harris administration, that price hikes did indeed happen, but they denied that for the first 3 years of the administration. And when they finally did something, it was too late.
Now, look, Lindy Lee is a bundler for the Democratic Party. She raised a lot of money for Kamala Harris's campaign, and she feels that she was lied to about how she was performing in the polling, lied to by the Harris campaign about the likelihood of beating Donald Trump. And so she's been making the media rounds, and you can tell that she is really soured on the Democratic Party. But someone who hasn't soured on the Democratic Party is Joy Behar.
I'm such a fool. I am not joking when I say that I honestly thought we were totally and completely done with Kamala Harris. Who is looking for her? With how badly she lost the presidential election and how awful every single performance she gave in an interview or speech or another word salad, I just thought the Democrats would want to distance themselves. And I honestly thought she'd just disappear and get paid a bunch of money at college or something like that. And I have never seen a more base so-called Democrat than Lindy Lee. Everything she said there could have been exchanged out for identical things I've said on this channel in the past. So I love when Democrats realize the manipulation tactics that the Democrats use, not just against the American public, not just against the Republicans, but against their own people. I've seen interviews with her, and she's like, yeah, they flat out lied to me about how Kamala was polling and indicated that we're really confident we're going to win. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Yet even she has some pretty harsh words for the Democratic Party and, more importantly, the Kamala Harris campaign. Take a look.
The thing the Democrats do, that most politicians do, I think the Republicans did it back in the day with John McCain. It's like, it's your turn. Kamala's in position, it's her turn. Yeah. Joe Biden, he did not retire early enough so that there could be an open, what do they call it? Primary, exactly, thank you. That's a simple word, and yet there would have been an open primary. Yeah. We would have seen what was out there a little bit more. It's just as bad as what they're doing with Trump, which is this loyalty oath that everybody has to take and bow down and kiss his ring. It's not about who's the best person. It's about who do you feel is in the next in line to do the job with the Democrats and with the Republicans.
Obviously implying, and this would be a correct statement, that Kamala Harris was not the best person for the job or the best candidate to run against Trump. And look, finally, even Jill Biden is taking some shots at Kamala Harris. If you don't believe me, take a look at this.
So I hope that you all feel that sense of, peace and light, and that just for a moment when you leave here today that you feel, I don't know, a sense of joy. Because I think we all need this, we all need to feel joy now during this time of the season, during this time. So anyway, okay, now I'll start. You're all reading into that.
Are we? Are we?
Yeah, so the rumors are that Jill Biden always hated Kamala Harris because of the one line in the debate back in 2020 in the primaries where she talked about how Joe Biden was in favor of segregation on buses back in the day, and that she never forgave her for that. Oh my God, Queen Biden, way to hold on to that grudge.
Right.
Wait a second. Joy Behar, are you suggesting that there should have been an open primary to, as you put it, I think, see what was out there? Wait a second. Why would you need that? You and the cackling hens of The View convinced all of us that Kamala Harris was the absolute greatest candidate in the history of presidential elections. It's funny, you couldn't even remember the word primary, and that's probably because prior to the election, you had no problem with the Democrats not holding a primary while attacking Donald Trump for ending democracy, yet your candidate wasn't chosen democratically. You're a clown, Joy. Now, Jill Biden, I'm no fan of hers, but, and I don't know if Cenk's story is true as to why there's beef between her and Kamala Harris, but I've gotten the sense, and I feel like I've heard rumors the entire time Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have been associated, that Jill Biden didn't like her. And while by no means will I ever become a fan of Jill Biden, I will say at least it shows she has, besides all the monster DNA, some human DNA inside of her, because like the rest of us and like the bajillion ex-employees of Kamala Harris, she can't stand her either. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
And hurt your own party in 1,000 different ways just because you're bitter. Anyway, so now, speaking of bitter, though, I'm a little bit bitter about The View. Because when we said Biden was too old, they were like, how dare you, right? When we said there should be an open primary, they said, how dare you? When we said, hey, the Democrats are asking for loyalty oaths and we're not supposed to be the authoritarian party, we're supposed to be more open, they're like, how dare you? Now all of a sudden The View is like, oh my God, you know what? Why didn't anybody tell us Biden was too old?
Yeah, they'll go back to the loyalty oaths, believe me.
Of course,
they will.
The View is the masters of loyalty oaths. If you don't pledge for whoever is the establishment corporate robot, they'll take your head off on The View. So, Joy, I appreciate your new opinion, but it's very, very different than your old opinion, which is like a minute ago, and it dramatically different. By the way, there's one thing I disagree here. I think Kamala Harris will probably win in a cakewalk for governor.
No!
Okay.
No! What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I'm telling you the reality, whether you like it or not.
What are you doing?
Democratic voters in California love to obey. And so
oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm gonna move, Cenk. I'm gonna quit my job.
I got you.
I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna move.
I'm not saying I'm in favor of it. I'm telling you what's, like, if the Democratic Party said, we anoint Kamala.
You guys know I cover a ton of clips from the Young Turks. I've seen Anna have real visceral, authentic responses to things that were funny and completely opposite what you think the party line would be. But her response there to even the thought of Kamala Harris becoming the governor of California has to be her most honest, like, just knee-jerk response to something that's not even a question in her mind whether she wants it or not. I mean, that's if I were a California resident, shoot, I'm a Florida resident, and I would respond the same way if somebody suggested that about Kamala Harris. So good for her. It honestly gave me a little bit of a chuckle the first time I saw it. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Kamala Harris a giant percentage of Democrats in California would go, yes, we obey. We will take the loyalty oath. It doesn't matter how bad she is.
This state cannot survive another incompetent Democrat leading it.
Leading it. Democrat like Kamala.
No, we just can't. Okay, like, anyway, so like people are egging her on. Okay, apparently she's like in a wait and see mode. How about you wait and see like your way out of public life and go do what you're supposed to do. Go work in the private sector, go do the lobbying thing, whatever it is, but do not run as governor of California. Yeah. Do not.
So look, here's the thing that they still won't say that is definitely true, which is that she was a disaster. She was a terrible candidate, but it's still to this day with all their little, oh, golly gee, I wish somebody would have told us, right? But they're not saying the core thing, which is she was a talking robot and she could not answer normal questions.
As much as the left would like to think we're exactly like them, we're not. The Republicans just don't obey. I'm very sorry for all of you, but we found a candidate that we like and that does what he says he's going to do and does things that are in the best interest of the American people, even all of you people that hate him. Bottom line, we're not as tribal as you are. As much as you may want us to be, we're not. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think? Would Kamala Harris make a fantastic governor of California? Let us know. Anyway, that's the end of this video. We really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.